TRT World defense analyst, Oubai Shahbandar. Thanks for coming in. Talk more, first of all, about what some interpret as threats to be read into Donald Trump's tweets. Some are saying they're very clear, that he himself is threatening economic devastation should Turkey make certain moves against Kurdish groups in Syria. Others are saying it's just this general, don't do this to yourself, we're warning you, it'll be on you. What do you think?
Well, Andrea, sometimes interpreting President Trump's tweets is more of an art form than an exact science. But here's what we can expect. On one hand, President Trump is using the medium of Twitter to launch sort of a broadside against Turkey. But in reality, there are sensitive, ongoing discussions behind the scenes between Ankara and Washington, led by U.S. Special Envoy Jim Jeffrey, that seem to have been progressing to date at a time when President Trump did reiterate that the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Syria is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. It may be 3 months, maybe 4 months, but it's going to happen this year. And we saw Trump reiterate that position. Now, what does it mean in terms of economic devastation? Well, we've seen that by a simple tweet that President Trump can impact any country's economy that's connected to the global economy. So that is very important to remember. It doesn't necessarily mean anything specific. Interestingly enough, Secretary Pompeo, the Secretary of State, was asked about this tweet when he was in Doha. Pompeo himself said, well, you're going to have to ask the president. Sometimes only President Trump knows what exactly he means. But let's look on what the other side here of Trump's tweet, the buffer zone. Now, this a 20-mile buffer zone into Syria. We heard from the foreign minister of Turkey's foreign minister saying that, hey, this plan was presented to the Americans under the Obama administration 4 years ago on 2 separate instances. The Obama administration rejected that plan. That led to even more chaos. That allowed Daesh to gain even more ground. The Assad regime used chemical weapons, led to the death and destruction and where Syria is today. So all of this could have been prevented, to include the displacement of millions of Syrian civilians and the defeat of Daesh. So now we're back to that original plan being presented by President Trump. Turkey saying, hey, we can do this. This can protect the Arab community, the Kurdish community, be a win-win for all sides involved, the Turks, the Syrians, and the Americans. So now the question is, can Washington's policy move beyond just the tweets and strike a deal that would make Turkey happy, that would allow the Americans to say that the Kurds are secured, and would allow Turkey to establish a critical border security zone that would protect Turkey and the Syrian communities from attacks from terror groups, whether it's the YPG terror group or Daesh, and protect civilians. Win-win for all. Okay. We have to move past the tweets.
Okay. It's not easy to do when they keep coming out. Okay, Oubai, thanks so much for coming in.